Every vehicle currently on the road is concealing features that most drivers have never discovered, never tested, and never even considered until the exact moment they desperately require them. Some were engineered specifically for survival. Others were designed for entirely different purposes and happen to save lives when everything goes wrong. At least three of these, including number 7, are features you have touched hundreds of times without realizing what they were actually built to accomplish. Stay through number 4. It involves something positioned just 2 inches above your head right now that could be the only reason you survive a submerged vehicle. And number 12 is the one automotive engineers developed specifically for crash scenarios that almost nobody in the general public has ever been informed about. The emergency fuel door release. Your fuel door operates electronically. In the event of a crash, a flood, or any type of electrical failure, that specific dashboard button becomes useless. The tank remains sealed. What almost nobody knows is that every car equipped with an electronic fuel door has a manual override cable hidden inside the trunk, usually located behind a small access panel on the left rear wall near the fuel door side. If you pull it, the door pops open with zero power required. This matters significantly when you need to siphon fuel, when a rescuer needs access, or when your vehicle dies in a remote location. Pull the panel, find the loop or tab. It takes only 30 seconds. Now you know exactly where it is. The trunk emergency release. Since 2002, federal law has required every passenger vehicle to be equipped with an interior trunk release. This is a glowing handle, usually colored yellow or green, that mechanically opens the latch from the inside with no power, no key, and no fob required. It glows in the dark so it remains visible even in a completely sealed dark trunk. If you or anyone you know is ever trapped inside, that handle is already there. Show every child in your home where it is located. Most children have no idea it exists. Seatbelt pretensioners. In the fraction of a second before an airbag deploys, most modern vehicles fire small explosive charges that instantly retract the seatbelt several inches. Pulling your body firmly into the seat before crash forces can throw it forward. This is a one-time system. Once it has fired, the belt retractor is permanently locked. If your belt feels stiff or strange following a crash, the pretensioner has deployed. The entire assembly requires replacement before you drive the vehicle again. A used pretensioner in a second crash provides almost no protection. This is one of the most commonly overlooked post-accident safety checks, the headrest pins. This is the one you absolutely need to remember. Pull any headrest off any seat in your car right now. There is usually a small button or tab on the seat back that you must press while pulling upward. At the base of that headrest, you will find 2 long, solid metal prongs consisting of 6 to 8 inches of hardened steel. This is not an incidental design choice. They are built to be removed for seat adjustment, but in an emergency, they serve as a window breaking tool. Insert one of those prongs into the gap where the window seal meets the glass at the corner and pry. The corner is the weakest point of tempered glass. That metal rod levered against the window frame will break it. This technique is documented in rescue training programs worldwide. In a sinking car, water pressure makes opening the door nearly impossible until interior and exterior pressure equalize, which means the interior must be almost completely full. While you wait for that moment, the headrest gives you a plan instead of panic. Remove it the second you realize the car is sinking, before the water reaches seat level. Have it ready in your hand. The automatic door unlock on impact. Most modern vehicles are programmed to unlock all doors automatically when crash sensors detect a collision above a certain level of severity. It exists so rescuers can gain entry without breaking glass, and so dazed occupants can be pulled out quickly. This is why you should not use a secondary physical lock during normal driving. It can override the automatic system and slow down rescue access in a serious crash. Check your owner's manual. Most cars manufactured after 2010 are equipped with this feature. The fuel shutoff inertia switch. In a crash, your fuel pump keeps running until something stops it. This creates a serious fire risk when fuel lines rupture. Most American vehicles contain an inertia switch that automatically kills the fuel pump when it detects sufficient impact force. It is usually located in the trunk, under the rear seat, or behind a small panel on the passenger kick panel. After even a moderate crash, this switch may trip and prevent the car from restarting, even if nothing else is damaged. Before you call for a tow truck, find the switch, press the reset button on top, and try starting the car. It is also the reason post-crash fuel fires do not happen as often as they could. The airbag off switch for the passenger seat. A rear-facing infant seat in the front passenger position, combined with a deployed airbag, is a documented fatal combination even in a moderate crash. Most vehicles manufactured after 1996 either automatically disable the passenger airbag when no adult weight is detected, or they have a key-operated switch, usually in the glove box or dashboard edge, that manually disables it. The NHTSA has documented fatalities where this switch existed and the driver had no idea. If you ever carry an infant or small child in the front seat, locate this switch in your manual today. It exists. Find it. Door hinge emergency escape. If your door is jammed and the window is intact, most people default to breaking the glass. But the hinge side is the weakest structural point of a car door when lateral force is applied against its design direction. Emergency responders use this as a first option before using cutting tools. The hinge is always on the front edge of the door. Press firmly toward the hinge while pulling the handle and apply your full body weight. Many jammed doors will give way before the glass does. Hazard lights automatic activation. Many modern vehicles, especially European makes, and an increasing number of American models from 2015 onward, automatically flash the hazard lights during a hard braking event above a certain threshold. It is designed to warn following drivers before they can even process your brake lights. Tested in a safe, empty area, you may have a feature you have never noticed. If your car does not have it, do it manually. Anytime you are making an emergency stop, hazards should go on immediately after stopping. That added visual warning significantly reduces secondary collision risk. The side window versus windshield distinction. Almost all emergency escape advice says, break a window, and almost none of it specifies which one. The windshield and rear window are made of laminated safety glass, which is 2 layers bonded to a plastic inner layer. If you strike the center with a headrest pin, a hammer, or anything else, it will only spider crack. It does not give way. Side and quarter windows are tempered glass, a completely different material that shatters into small pebbles with a single focused strike at the corner. If you are escaping a submerged or burning vehicle, you are going through a side window. Never waste energy on the center of a windshield. Aim for the corner of the side window with a single focused strike every time. SOS and automatic crash notification. If your vehicle was manufactured after 2015 and carries any connected services subscription, such as OnStar, Toyota Safety Connect, Ford Sync, or BMW Assist, it almost certainly has automatic crash notification. It detects a deployment event, contacts emergency services, and transmits your GPS coordinates with no action required from you while you are unconscious, with your phone destroyed, even in rural areas where normal cell coverage fails because these systems use dedicated network connections. Check whether your subscription is active. Many manufacturers offer it free for the first year, and then it lapses. A $30 annual subscription to automatic crash notification might be the most straightforward survival upgrade available. The crumple zone and what it means for how you react. Modern vehicles are engineered to crumple, absorbing crash energy through controlled deformation of the front and rear sections, while the passenger cabin stays intact. A car that looks destroyed from the outside may have a completely intact cabin. Emergency responders know this, but most people do not, which is why a crash survivor sometimes abandons the safest place they could be. If your door is open and your body is functional after impact, assess the situation before you move. A destroyed front end with a solid passenger compartment is the car doing exactly what it was engineered to do. The seat recline escape route. In a vehicle where front doors are jammed and rear doors are blocked, the path to the back seat is often still clear, and rear windows are tempered glass, breakable at the corner the same way as side windows. The front seat back reclines completely flat with the recline lever or dial. No tools are needed. It takes 5 seconds. This creates a clear crawl path from front to rear for yourself, for a child, or for anyone you need to extract. Tire pressure monitoring as a blowout warning. Every U.S. vehicle since 2008 is required by federal law to have a tire pressure monitoring system. Most drivers treat the TPMS light as an annoyance. It is actually a blowout early warning. A tire at 60% of recommended pressure is structurally compromised and at significantly elevated blowout risk at highway speed. And that light turns on before the tire fails. Stopping immediately to inflate to specification is the difference between a routine fix and a 60-mark blowout that causes a rollover. Tire blowouts kill thousands annually. The warning is already in your dashboard. The emergency brake as a directional control tool. In hydraulic brake failure, which is rare but documented, the parking brake operates through a cable directly to the rear wheels, independent of the hydraulic system. It will not stop you at highway speed the way normal brakes do, but it slows the rear wheels. And combined with downshifting progressively through every available gear, you have meaningful control over a runaway vehicle. The technique, signal, move to the right shoulder, downshift progressively, and apply the parking brake firmly but not abruptly. A hard jerk can spin the car, so steer toward any open space. Aim for a controlled stop, not a complete loss of control. The seatbelt webbing as an emergency tourniquet. The polyester webbing in your seatbelt is nearly identical in width and tensile strength to the nylon webbing in military-grade tourniquets. And that is not a coincidence. In a crash with severe limb bleeding and no tourniquet available, cut a length of seatbelt webbing, wrap it above the wound as tight as physically possible, and use a rigid object like a pen, a headrest pin, or a key fob, twisted through the loop as a windlass to increase pressure further. That is exactly how military tourniquets work. A purpose-built tourniquet is always the better option. But on a remote road with a severed artery and no help coming, the webbing in your seat is already there. Now you know it exists. The vanity mirror as a rescue signal. The flat reflective surface on your sun visor can project a focused light beam visible to the naked eye at up to 7 miles and to aircraft at considerably greater range. Angle the mirror toward the sun, create a V shape with 2 fingers on your outstretched arm, aim the reflected beam between your fingers toward your target, and flash 3 times. Pause, then repeat. That is the universal distress signal recognized by search and rescue worldwide. No battery, no signal, no electricity, just sunlight and the knowledge to use it. The seatbelt buckle jam and the upside-down rule. In a rollover where the car rests on its roof, your full body weight hangs against the seatbelt, loading the buckle with hundreds of pounds of tension. When you press the release, nothing happens. Not because it is broken, but because the mechanism physically cannot release under that load. The fix. Brace one hand firmly against the roof directly below you to take partial weight off the belt. Then press and hold the release while pulling the shoulder belt toward the buckle to create slack. Reduced tension plus slack allows the mechanism to release. People have died upside down in intact vehicles, pressing a button that could not physically work under full body weight. Now you know the fix. The door seal as a fire barrier. In a post-crash engine fire, the average time before flames breach the firewall and enter the passenger cabin is 90 seconds to 3 minutes, far longer than panic suggests. The door seals, firewall rating, and crumple zone structure buy you that time. Use every second of it. Exit through a side door immediately if it opens. If doors are jammed, the rear glass is tempered, breakable at the corner, and away from the fire source. The 2 worst decisions are freezing and exiting toward the front of the vehicle. Use the sides and rear. Use the time the door seals are buying you. The car horn is a code signal. Your car horn has a direct connection to the battery and works in most crash scenarios where everything else has failed. Ignition off, windows jammed, doors locked, 3 short blasts, pause, 3 short blasts, repeat. That is the automotive SOS distress signal. In a ditch, a wooded area, or partially submerged, a repeating horn pattern carries further than your voice and signals deliberate intent, not an accident. Your key fob's panic button activates the horn and hazard lights simultaneously and runs until the battery dies. If you cannot reach the horn, that button turns your car into a continuous audible and visual distress beacon. Use it deliberately. None of these require buying anything, and none require any modification to your vehicle. They are already there, engineered into the car you are driving right now, waiting for a situation that may never come or may come tomorrow morning on the way to work. You just needed to know about them. A few of them are especially important, and I am glad you took the time to watch this because One day that knowledge could save your life. Share this with someone who drives every single day and has never thought about any of this for even a minute. None of it takes more than 5 minutes to learn, and on the day it matters, 5 minutes is everything. If these hidden survival features change the way you look at your vehicle, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the vital knowledge that could make the difference in a crisis. Drive safe and prepare for the future. The next life-saving guide will be released soon.